shall we? So today what I want to do is I want to walk you guys through, I want to share with you how you can plan for a profitable year that does not include hustle, sacrifice, overwhelm, or inconsistency, okay? So I know for me, when I first started doing like plans and I started to plan out, like create plans for, what I wanted to promote and my content and my offers and all of that stuff, my marketing, I was pretty much a hot mess. I was very inconsistent. It consumed a lot of my time. There was a lot of things I was trying to plan that I didn't really understand, that I didn't know a whole lot about. I was probably spending 80% of my time that I was working in my business creating plans, but they weren't actually plans that produced a profit. And that's a big deal, because if you're going to put time and effort and energy into creating a plan for your business and to map out what it is you want to accomplish this year and how you want to do that, you want it to pay off. You want it to produce profit. And so I was spending, like I said, probably 80% of my time planning and creating and mapping stuff out, and it was all fun and fine, and I love to plan, I love to map stuff out, but you got to bring that stuff to life, right? You need to create a plan that's going to produce a result for you, that it's going to actually move you towards the goals that you're trying to accomplish or to hit. You want your plan to produce a profit. You want the things that you map out to produce clients and income for you, right? Those are the type of results that we're talking about here. And so if you are creating plans and you're finding that you spend a lot of time creating and mapping stuff out, but you never actually get a result from it, and that could be a mix of things. It could be that you create these plans and you pour your heart and soul into it, but then you don't take action. I used to do that. I used to go from one plan to another plan to another plan, and all I did was plan and map stuff out. I never actually executed those plans or implemented them. It could be that. It could be that you're not really sure, like you kind of mapped out and created what you want to see happen, but you don't quite know how to put it into like action so that it produces a result for you. Maybe you've started to take action, and then somewhere along the lines, the lines just started to get blurred, and maybe the things you were doing weren't working, or maybe you were doing things but they weren't producing the results like you wanted them to, and you weren't quite sure how to change that or what to do differently. There's all kinds of reasons why plans don't work, but one of the biggest things I found is that I used to set myself up for failure because I would create these extravagant plans. I would map out so many different things. I would add so much into it. I was essentially creating a plan for like a multi-million-dollar business. Like I was just trying to do way too many things. And what happens is you end up not being able to actually do all of the things. You end up not being able to, execute all the things that, you've mapped out. Or you end up putting unrealistic expectations or action steps in your plan that end up keeping you stuck. They're just not going to happen for you at this stage of business. And so what I want to kind of share with you today is the way that I do planning in my business now, and the way that I have my clients do it, because it's so much easier. It's way less time. You actually spend way less time planning and mapping stuff out and more time executing and getting the results. And so that's what I want to share with you today. So let's go ahead and dive in. The first thing I think is really important for you to understand is that there's only 2 steps in your business that you've got to have in place, that you have to know how to do in order to make money in your business. And it's not sales pages, sales funnels, it's not stuff like that. It's actually, you need an offer, okay? You need to have a sellable offer. You need an offer that, number one, positions you as an expert in your niche, okay? You need to create an offer that lights you up, that excites you, and that you super confident in. I see a lot of entrepreneurs just kind of throwing out some random offers, and they're actually nothing that they're excited about or passionate about. And sometimes I see entrepreneurs creating offers that you're claiming to produce a certain result that you actually don't know if you can get for your clients, okay? Or if you can guide them to those results. So you need an offer that you are confident in, that you know if someone makes the investment in this offer, I know that I can help them accomplish ABC, right? That's the first thing. So you need to have a sellable offer. This offer also needs to be very obvious to your ideal client that it is, in fact, what they need right now. That it is the solution to the problem that they want to solve. Okay, that it does actually and can actually produce the results that they're looking to get. That it's worth the investment, that it is something they need to do right now. They don't want to wait another day, another week, another month, another year. They want this right now, and that you're the one that has that proven path that's going to get them there. They need to see all of that within your offer. And if your offer is not producing that, then your ideal clients are not going to feel confident to make the investment, and they're not going to really be certain that your offer is the solution to the thing that they want to solve, okay? Or that your offer is going to produce the results that they want to achieve or reach, okay? So it's not just any offer. You can't just throw together like a 3-month coaching program, right? Like you need to be more strategic, and you have to have some structure to your offer, okay? So I don't want to see you just like throw something together that just, it's not even sellable, right? Like it doesn't show your ideal clients. It actually will help them produce the solution that they're looking for right now today in their business, okay? So that's the first step, is coming up with that and creating that sellable offer. And usually I have my clients create 1 to 3 of these. And if you choose to hop on a call with me, that's something that we can talk about. You know, how many offers should you have? What should they look like? But in the minimum, you got to have a sellable offer, at least one that really, really stands out and represents who you want to be known for, what you want to be known for, how you want your clients or your community to know, like, here's how I can help you, okay? The next piece goes hand in hand with this. You need traffic. If you don't have traffic, you have no one to sell to. Who's going to buy that amazing sellable offer if you have 0 traffic? This is another thing I see come up quite a bit in the industry. I see entrepreneurs who have amazing offers. Like, I would buy them. They're so good. They're so freaking good. People need them. People are looking for them. Problem is, they have no traffic to put this offer in front of. You know, maybe they have a really small email list, or they don't have any, or they have an email list and they haven't engaged with it. So it's basically like a dead email list that they are grasping at, trying to get to open this email to see this amazing offer. Or they are on social media, but it's really sporadic, and they don't have a Facebook group. They don't have their own community. So therefore, they're relying on other people's Facebook groups, which 90% of them do not allow marketing and promoting anymore, right? Or if they do, they have a bunch of, you know, shitty rules around it that, you know, you're not allowed to do this and you're not allowed to do that, right? Like all these things, all these rules and restrictions. And so by not having your own community, you're limiting how much you can market and sell yourself, and how you want to build your own community. Okay, this is really important. Because you can't really depend on other Facebook groups. A year ago, you could market, promote in every Facebook group. Like, no one cared. Now, it's like you're lucky to find a group that will allow you to do that. We don't have control over that, right? So those things can change at any time. And this is why you want to stay on your toes. And you do not want to rely on one thing, one person, or one strategy to create income in your business, because you're going to get screwed in the end if that's what you're doing and they change that, right? Similar to like Facebook algorithms, those change every day. And so if you're reliant only on Facebook or Facebook ads or just one strategy, and then that changes, it messes up your whole strategy. And so it's really important that you have traffic. And when I say traffic, I am talking about an ideal targeted community. I am talking about a community that belongs to you, that is loaded with your dreamy clients, people that have raised their hand and said, I want to learn from you, and are at the place in their life and business where they want your help. They want to make investments to grow their business, to grow their impact, to grow their income. Those are the types of people you want to create a community around. You don't want to create a community around people that don't even like what you do. They have no interest. They don't even know who you are or what you do. If you're spending time and energy and even money creating a bunch of traffic or a community that you don't even know if they are buyers, you're wasting precious time. Okay, so it's okay to go in other people's Facebook groups. That's totally a great strategy. In fact, I have my clients do that. And my VA does that for me still, okay? But you don't want to strictly rely on that because it changes and you don't have control over that. And the other side to that is you could put a lot of time and a lot of energy in doing that, and then they're not even like your people, right? They're not your buyers, because when people are in someone else's Facebook group, they're really there to learn from the owner of that group, right? Like that's why they're in there, because they like that person. They're not really in there to learn from you, right? So you can put great content in other people's Facebook groups and absolutely can sell. I did 10K every single month for the first 3 years of my business solely from other people's groups. I never had my own group or anything. I didn't even have an email list. So I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm saying it's not sustainable. And you can't just count on that by itself, okay? So what you want to do is create your own traffic, your own community. And you want these people to be buyers, not lurkers, not brain pickers, not free information overloaders that are just looking for free stuff, but buyers. And there's so many cool ways to do that, okay? So once you have your traffic, all you have to do is put that sellable offer in front of them that we just talked about, okay? Once you have your offer, you just put that in front of that traffic. These two things go hand in hand, but you really can't make money in your business without both of these things. And again, you can have a mediocre offer. It's just going to be really hard to sell, okay? It's going to be hard to get behind it. So you'll probably charge really low for it. You'll get sporadic sales here and there, nothing consistent, nothing sustainable. And then when it comes to traffic, you absolutely can leverage other people's traffic. I do to this day. I have my clients do that, but I don't solely rely on that. It's not my main way. I have my own community, which is my Facebook group and my email list. And I attract buyers, okay? So this is really, really important. You don't have to do that. It's just going to be harder to sell if you don't. And it's going to take you longer, probably not consistent, probably not sustainable. If you're going into 5 Facebook groups that belong to other people and they decide to shut those Facebook groups down, what are you going to do? If they decide to say you're no longer allowed to promote or market in my group, you can only give good value, which is fine because that's typically how you sell. But if that's what you're relying on, what are you going to do? What is your strategy now? Okay, so these are the 2 ways that you make money in a business. And if you have these 2 things and you've done these correctly, you should have absolutely no problem signing clients, creating cash, keeping consistent income coming in the door. You should have 0 problems with doing that if you have these 2 things and if you've done them correctly. By all means, no doubt about it, you will have consistent clients and cash, okay? So there's 2 things that you need if you want to create your annual profit plan. And when we talk about a plan, I'm saying, how are you going to create consistent profit this year? Not up and down, pendulum swing, feast, famine, sporadic income, but consistent month after month income. So the first thing, obviously, once you have your offer and you've got your traffic, or at least a plan on how are you going to create your own traffic, your own community, you've got to decide on your end goal. you've got to decide on what it is you're trying to reach, what it is you're trying to accomplish. What is it that you want? Because a lot of people just kind of go day by day. Oh, today I need to sign a client. Today I got to do a sales call. You know, I got to get that email list out. Those are not really goals. Those are strategies that lead you to your goal if done correctly, correct? So what you need to do is figure out the end goal so that you can take the correct action steps that are going to lead you to that goal. You actually don't do this backwards. You don't do it the other way around, right? You don't take action steps and hope they lead you to some goal. You figure out what the goal is, and that goal is going to dictate what action steps you take so that you're guaranteed to reach your goals as long as you take the action steps and you do them correctly. So the first thing that you have to figure out as a business owner is, what is your goal? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? What is it that you're trying to reach for this year? Once you do that, then after and only then do you create the plan to get there. So this is where you say, I want to accomplish A, and in order to accomplish A this year, okay, and you don't even need to look at the whole year. You can say this month, this quarter, but in order to do this and reach this goal, here's what needs to happen. This is what I have to focus on. This is what I got to get really good at. This is what I have to master. This is what I have to do in order for me to get there. When you know what your goal is, you can figure out what you need to do day by day to get there. I cannot tell you how many entrepreneurs come to me and say, I don't know what to do today. I don't know what to focus on. I'm not sure where to spend my time. I need to know what to do every day. The problem, the gap, is that you don't know what you're trying to accomplish. So therefore, you really don't know how to spend your time. And so you end up just dabbling or wasting your time. You need to, as the business owner, make a smart decision to identify what it is you want to accomplish. What is the goal you're trying to reach? From that place, you can create what needs to happen to get there. And that is what you focus on every single day. Okay, so that should make sense. Let me know if this is making sense to you for sure. So the problem is that so many entrepreneurs complicate the planning part, right? Instead of creating this very strategic, very small set of action steps to focus on, they just wing it. They're just throwing out random stuff every day. They're spending hours staring at their computer, thinking about, what should I do? Should I write an email? What should I say in the email? They're going into other people's groups with no intention whatsoever. They have no idea what they're doing. They're just trying to do a little bit of everything, hoping that something's going to produce a result. And it's a really, really bad way to try to operate a business. It's just not a professional way to operate. As a business owner, you need your head in the game, and you need to know what you're trying to accomplish in your business, because you're the only person in charge of this. There's no boss ahead of you that's saying, here's what you need to do today. That's up to you to figure out. You're the business owner. This is your business. You have to dictate what direction you go to. You have to dictate what you're going to do and what to focus on to get to a certain goal. There's no one else that's going to do this for you. There is no training out there that's going to put this in place for you. There's no coach, there's no program, there's no free download. Like, you have to sit down and you've got to figure this stuff out. And then you need to create some action steps, some solid action steps, probably just a couple, that you're going to solely focus on and get really good at, that are going to lead you to that goal. And you're going to keep doing that as long as you have to do it, okay? You can't expect to create sustainable, you can't play the long game if you are winging it and you're just kind of guessing every day on, like, oh, I'll send out this email with this random offer. Oh, maybe today I'll do a Facebook Live and invite people to a call with me. Maybe tomorrow I'll just go to a couple Facebook groups and put some good posts out and we'll see what happens. That is not sustainable. That is not going to produce any sort of result or profit that is even ever going to be consistent or scalable or reliable for you. And if you want reliable income month after month after month that you can count on to pay your bills, to make investments in your business, to take your business from growing to scaling, you know, to pay down debt, whatever it is that you're trying to do in your life. If you are wanting your business to produce that income, you got to get your head in the game and understand that you are now a business owner. Anything and everything that happens or does not happen in your business is 1,000,000,000% on your shoulders. There's no one else to blame for this. There's no one else that can make this happen. It's all on you to do it. And you cannot do that winging it and guessing and just hoping, right? You've got to have some strategicness. I know a lot of entrepreneurs out there are saying, and even I say, follow the feel good. And I totally mean that. But you got to have the feel good and the strategy together, okay? So the solution to this is I want you to start with the end in mind. I want you to identify what is the goal for you. You can look at the year, you can look at the month, you can look at the quarter, hell, you can even look at just this week. But identify, what are you working towards? What are you trying to accomplish? What is it that you want to reach? And once you figure that out, then what you need to do to get there is going to become very obvious. It's going to be so much easier to figure out what you got to do every day when you know what you're trying to accomplish, when you know what you're working towards, right? You can go get in your car and you could drive in circles for decades and never land anywhere. Or you could say, I'm getting in my vehicle and I'm going here. This is my destination. Now you know exactly what you need to do and where you need to go and who you need and what you need to get there. That is being smart, okay? So that's what you need to do. So first, you want to decide on that end goal. What is that thing that you want to accomplish? And then you can create the action steps to get there. So let's go a little bit deeper into this. Let's talk about, how do you pull this together? Once you identify what it is that you are trying to get to or trying to accomplish, how do you figure out what you need to do? Okay, so the goal with creating a plan is to create inspired action steps that are going to keep you really focused on the outcome, on that goal that you want, so that you always know what you're working towards. So one of the most important things is to be really inspired. And so what that means is you don't want to spend your days forcing content or forcing an email or doing things because you have to do them, or someone told you to, or you think you need to, or you think people expect you to. You have to be more strategic than that and more in alignment with that, okay? So here's what you do. The success of your plan, whether it is for the year or the week or the month or the quarter, there's 5 things that the success of your plan is going to depend on. If you don't do these 5 things, your plan's probably not going to work. So if you're that person creating plans and mapping stuff out and you're not getting results, you got to pay attention to this. So step 1, you got to have clarity on your goals. So I want you to create goals, 1 to 3 goals that are true for you. Not what your coach is doing or your buddy partner or your colleagues or what you see other people doing. But what are 1 to 3 things that you want to accomplish that actually mean something to you? Things that you can stand behind, believe in, get behind, that you take a stand for. You truly believe in these things. You're really passionate about it. You want to figure that out. Then you've got to make sure you're clear on your niche. What do you want to be known for? You've got to niche down. If you are trying to be everything to everyone, you're not going to be anything to anyone. You're going to produce 0 results. You've got to know what you specialize in. You've got to know what you're good at. You've got to know what you're confident in. Because when people make an investment in you, they rely on you to help them get those results. And if you're actually not confident that you can do that, or you don't even know if you can do that, then you have no business in that niche. So you need to really get clear on what you're confident in, what your specialty is, what you want people to know you for, and the results that you are confident you can get your clients, okay? Then you need to look at your profit possibility. This is important. This comes down to your community, your traffic. If you're not looking at certain numbers, so there's some numbers I take my clients through that I have to know. I have to know these numbers in order for me to give you action steps and help you figure out what you need to focus on. If you're trying to make $10,000 this month and you have no email list, no Facebook group, and no social platforms, chances of it are pretty slim. You could probably do it with some manual work and effort and time in other people's groups. It's going to be a little hard. It's going to take longer than it needs to, but you could probably make it happen. But is it going to happen month after month after month after month? Probably not without you hustling and sacrificing and working way too hard. So when you say you want to make, and this is an example, $10,000 every single month, right? You want to do that, and you want to be doing that within the next couple of months. Totally possible. But the first thing that we need to look at is your numbers. We need to look at what you have access to, because those numbers is what's going to tell us if you have what you need in place to make $10,000 a month. Okay? And also, if you're saying to me, I don't want to go in other people's Facebook groups, or I don't want to have to do a live every single day, or I don't want to have to post on my newsfeed on Facebook 50 times a day just to get, people to book a call with me. I don't want to work really hard. I don't want to work 40 hours a week. If you're coming to me and saying that, but you're trying to make $10,000 a month and you don't have any numbers to work with, we have a problem. It's good for you to probably know that your numbers do not add up to what it is you're trying to accomplish. So it's an easy fix. If your numbers don't match what you're trying to accomplish, we just need to increase your numbers. So then there we go. Now we know what you need to focus on. You need to focus on, increasing your community, your numbers. So this is something that literally tells myself and my clients exactly what we're missing and exactly what we need to go do in order for us to make $10,000 this month, right? Or $10,000 every single month. So this is something that you have to be looking at. If you don't even know what your numbers are, if you don't know what you got access to, and this is getting deep, right? Like you need to look at, you could have a list of 10,000 people, but let's say only 100 of them actually engage. Only 100 of them actually open your emails. Only 100 of them actually click any link or take any action step. Then if you're trying to make $10,000 a month with a list of 100 people, probably not happening. So again, this is good for you to know. It is smart business. You've got to know your numbers. Business is a numbers game. It all boils down to your numbers. Also your obviously your quality of your numbers, which we look at, but it's a numbers game, and numbers do not lie. They tell you everything you need to know. Okay, if your numbers say that you made $1,000 last month, then guess what? You made $1,000. If your numbers say you made 20,000, then you made 20,000. If your email list says you have 500 people on your list, then you've got 500 people. It's black and white, like there's no in between. So you've got to know your numbers, okay? It dictates a lot in terms of strategy and action steps. So then once you do that, the sellable offer. You've got to have a congruent offer that not only excites you, that you're confident in, that creates a transformation you know you can get your clients, but your clients need to also see that. They need to see your offer, and they need to raise their hand and say, that is what I need. That's the transformation I'm looking for. You look like someone that can help me, and your offer shows me the path to get there. How do I make the investment? What's the next steps? If there's any doubt in their mind, or if they need to go off and think about it, then your offer is not being positioned properly. They don't see your offer as the solution, or they don't see that your offer is going to give them the transformation they are looking for. So you have to make sure that your offer clearly does the selling for you, and then you need to position it and present it to them in a way that is very obvious for them. Otherwise, they have objections. They have to think about it, that they're not sure. They have doubts. And if they have any of those things, they're not going to buy from you. They're just not. They're going to go off and do something else or find someone else. They're going to make an investment somewhere else because you failed to present your offer the right way. Okay? The final step is your commitment to follow your plan. I see a lot of entrepreneurs. I did a Facebook Live today and nobody purchased. Okay, so no one's probably going to on your first one. Or I see entrepreneurs, I sent out an email and no one clicked. Or I went into 5 Facebook groups today and I put really good posts out there and no one's even engaging. I hear this all the time. If it was as easy as doing one Facebook Live or sending out one email or going into 5 groups once a day, if it was that easy to create consistent income and cash in your business, then all of us would never have an issue with marketing. We would not need coaches. None of us would even be making money. It is not that simple, okay? And it doesn't happen that fast. This is why consistency is the key to success. You've got to keep doing things until you no longer have to do them. You've got to do less things better. Stop trying to do 500 marketing strategies and create 300 different offers and be a special, an expert and specialize in 7 different things. Narrow down, niche down, focus on a couple of things, one thing even, at a time, master it, get so damn good at selling it and at making it happen, and then you can gradually add things on. I spent 5 years only doing a 3-month one-on-one coaching program. And I'm not saying you need to do that. That was unnecessary and I didn't know better. But I'm just saying I did not do group programs. I did not do sales funnels. I didn't have a sales page. I didn't even have a damn email list. I went into other people's Facebook groups Monday through Friday, every day, all day, and I sold people to a call with me for free, where I then moved them into a 3-month one-on-one coaching package. I didn't do anything else. I got good at that, and boy, did I learn what I needed to take things to the next level. I got so good at that creating a group program and selling it out and making my first $37,000 in like 3 weeks was a breeze. It was easier than, the $5,000 and $10,000 a month that I was making selling one-on-one coaching, because I did all of the work I needed to do to figure it all out. Okay, so your commitment to follow your plan and focus on less is going to be it's going to dictate your success. Okay, you cannot just do something a couple of times and expect that the universe is going to give you everything you want overnight. It does take hard work. Now, I'm anti-hustle. I don't believe in hustling. I don't believe in sacrificing. I don't believe in giving up our kidneys and our body parts to make it happen. I believe that this can happen easily and that this can happen with flow and consistently, and that you can be inspired, but it does take some hard work. And if you aren't up for that challenge, if you don't have tough skin, if you don't follow through and you're not a committer and you just dabble and you start stuff and you have all these unfinished projects, only you can change that. That is a fast track to failure. So if you don't want that to happen, you got to start making commitments and following through. And the easiest way I've found to do that is to focus on less things. Stop filling up your plate and setting yourself up for failure and setting yourself up for things you know you're not going to follow through with. You know you're not going to do, okay? So if you create a plan and you do not get results, it does not mean plans don't work and you should stop planning and just wing it, okay? If you don't get results, it means that you were not clear on or inspired by your goals or your action steps, that you're not clear on your niche, who you really want to be known for or what you want to be known for, that you did not create your plan based on your numbers, okay? What I call your profit possibility. How much profit is possible for you? It means that your sellable offers were not congruent or not sellable, okay? Or you didn't stick to the plan. You just changed it up too fast and too often, or you tried to do too much and you weren't able to keep up. So it could be a mix of these things. And that is for you to figure out, or for you to get a coach to help you figure it out. But nothing's going to change if you don't change this. So rather than give up or switch gears, I want you to course correct and then relaunch your plan. Try again. You keep doing it until it works. You make tweaks along the way. You course correct. You do it again. You do it until you don't have to do it anymore. You get really good at less, okay? All right, so what are your top goals? Let's talk about what some of these might look like for you. Maybe your goal is to build your list. Maybe you realize you don't have a big enough email list to really hit your income goals. Maybe you have a list, they're the wrong people, okay? Maybe you have a list and you kind of abandon them, so they're really quiet, they're not engaged, they're not taking action, they're not even opening or clicking. So maybe your goal is, you know what, I want to get masterful at building and nurturing my list. That's all I want. I just want to have a list, a high quality list of people that are opening and clicking and taking action and booking and buying. And all I want to do is spend my time doing that. That's a great goal. Maybe you say that your top goal right now is that you want to hit $10,000 months or maybe $100,000 a year. I know this is pretty common for a lot of entrepreneurs right now. It's kind of like that benchmark. Like, I want a 10K month, or I want that $100,000 a year, right? It's like the first big benchmark most entrepreneurs want to have. Maybe that is what your goal is, and you just want to do less better to do it, right? You don't want to have to work hard. You don't want to have to like burn both ends of the candle and be exhausted to make $10,000 a month. You want to focus on less things that are going to help you do that, okay? And you want it consistently, something you can actually rely on month after month. Maybe you want to build authority. Maybe you want to be recognized in the industry as an expert, as a leader, as an authority. Maybe you want other thought leaders to recognize you and to want to collaborate with you. Maybe you want to get yourself out there in a bigger way so you can reach more people and have a bigger impact. Maybe that's your goal. Maybe you want to increase engagement in your community. So maybe you have spent some time to build a Facebook group, and maybe you'll realize that, you know, it's not as engaged as you would like it to be, that you haven't been as visible as you expected yourself to be. Maybe you've let a lot of people in there that just really shouldn't be in there anymore. It's not really supporting your new vision. Whatever it might be, maybe your goal is that you want to put focus on increasing the engagement in that community that you've worked so hard to build, even if there's just 10 people in there. Maybe your focus is that you want to have collaborations and some partnerships with other leaders in the industry that are recognized and paving the way and are thought leaders and authorities in this industry. Maybe you want to start getting more involved with those people and getting in front of those audiences and getting that experience and exposure, right? Maybe that's your goal. Maybe you want to book speaking gigs. Maybe that's your vision. Maybe that is what you're ready to do. You want to start booking some gigs and getting paid to speak and getting out there and having some live interaction in your business. I know a lot of entrepreneurs, you know, don't want to be behind their computers all the time. They want to be on the stage, live, face to face. Maybe that's one of your goals. Maybe it's a little bit of all of this. Maybe you're thinking, damn, a lot of all of this sounds really good, right? Maybe it's a little bit of all of this that you feel you want to focus on, that you need to do to get your business up and running to that next level, right? So this is what I recommend, that you just pick 3, max of 5. Honestly, you don't even need to go to 5. I think that's a little much, because inside each of these goals are going to be a list of things you have to do. So you got to set yourself up for success and understand that no matter which one of these you choose, within each one of these is going to be a whole list of things you're going to have to do, right? So 3 to 5 for a quarter is quite a bit. So I recommend that, you know, for 1 quarter, that you pick 3 with a max of 5 goals to focus on, because these are big goals. These are not little things like send an email to my email list, or do a Facebook Live. Those are action steps. These right here, these are big goals. Okay, this requires some work and some time and some testing. Okay, that's why you want to focus on getting really good at less. So pick 3, a max of 5. You can even just do 1 or 2 that you want to focus on for this quarter, that you want to get so good at, you got it in the bag, okay? And then remember this. Business is a numbers game, and numbers never lie. Everything that you need to know right now for your business is inside your numbers. Your numbers are going to tell you what you have and don't have to work with in order to reach your income goals, your money goals. Your numbers are going to say, you have this, but you need this much more, right? You've got this email list of 100, but you need 300 more people on that email list in order to make this much. Or you've got this amount of people, which would normally be enough, but because they're so unengaged, you're going to have to either grow your list by this much, or you're going to have to get these people engaged in order for you to make this much money from that email list. Your numbers tell you everything. And if you don't know these, if you're not looking at these diligently every single day, every time you sit down to launch something or plan or sell anything, you're self-sabotaging. You're really cutting yourself short, okay? Now, there's 5 things I want you to look at, okay, when it comes to money. I want you to look at the amount of money you desire to make. So I have people that will come to me and say, I want to make $100,000 this year. You got to know why you want to make that, okay? Because if you are just trying to come up with numbers that sound good, you're not going to have the motivation it's going to take to make that money. You're not going to do the work and commit in a way that you have to make that kind of money, because you have no attachment to that number, okay? So what do you really desire to make? And it's okay. It could be a really small number. It could be a really big number. But if you don't have an attachment to it, it's not really a desire, you're just kind of making stuff up, you're not going to do what needs to happen to make that money. And you're selling yourself short. The next thing is when you want the money by. I always say that nothing's real if it doesn't have a date. If you don't have a date, then you're just talking, right? We're just talking. You need a date. A date makes it solid, and it's going to happen. It puts it out there, and then you're going to do it. So when do you want to make that money? By when? 30 days, 3 years, 10 years? Like when? The other thing is, what do you have in place to support that money goal? This is looking at your numbers. This is looking at what you have and what you don't have, or what you need in order for you to make that amount of money. And then what do you have or need to make that happen? So do you need a different type of system? Do you need a virtual assistant? Do you need some piece of technology? Do you need a coach? Do you need a mentor? Do you need a accountability partner? Do you need to have an email system? Do you need to have a social media system? What is it that you need, okay, in place to help support you in making this happen? And then you want to look at strategy. What is the fastest, easiest way to reach that money goal? Because you can take the long, hard way around. That's your choice. Go for it if that's what you want. Or you can find the fastest, easiest way for this to happen. I typically, because I'm anti-hustle, I teach my clients the fastest, easiest way to do things. I have no interest in taking the long way around, or making this really hard, or working harder than we need to, or complicating things. I like to make things really simple, really fast, really easy. Go do it, get it done, boom, let's move on to the next thing, okay? And your numbers, your inventory is going to tell you what your next steps need to be. So now you know what you need to focus on every single day, okay? The next thing that I want to talk about really quickly with you guys is, what do you want to be known for? This seems to be this big thing. It seems to be such a complicated thing for entrepreneurs, because they want to be known for every single thing they're good at. They want everyone to know them for a multitude of things. And here's the thing. You don't need to know a ton of shit for people to see you as an expert, or for people to make a big investment with you, or for people to want to work with you. No one is looking for a genius. They're just looking for the next solution. They're just looking for the next solution to their problem. They are not looking for someone that knows everything about everything, okay? In fact, that comes off to us as very amateurish. It comes off as unbelievable. Like, yeah, right, how do you know all that? It also seems very unrealistic. So if you think that people who would buy from you like that and they're looking for that, you're actually really wrong. People want to know specifically how are you going to help me get a result, and what result are you going to help me get? And it's much easier for them to identify that and for you to talk about it when you niche down. So think about the one thing that you're most passionate about. Also, what is something that people are always coming to you for? This is a great way to start to think about, what you're really good at. What have you been paid for before? So maybe you have clients paying you right now, or they paid you in the past. What is exactly did they pay you for? If you've had to teach, talk, or do something every single day, what would it be? What are you most passionate about? And what are you confident in? This is really important. If you're not confident in what you can help people do, they're just not going to buy from you. And then what do you always find yourself really excited to talk about, to teach, or to do? These are signs that this is what you're meant to do. That this is something right now in the moment that you should probably be focusing on, okay? So this is a little exercise I bring my clients through to kind of pull together, a statement about who they are, what they do, and who they help, how they help, right? So it's a little exercise that I create, and I have my clients go through inside my niche clarity training. And this is where we get really clear on who your ideal client is, their problem, the solution, how you help them, why they want to do it right now, and then we create your sellable offers and your signature system. So this right here is the first step, and this is identifying your ideal client. So what you do is you go in, you fill in who is your potential client, what is the problem that they are experiencing right now, what is the solution they want, not the thing you want, but what do they want? What do they need to do or learn in order for them to get that result? What is the ultimate outcome that they want? And then what is their why? Why do they need this outcome right now? Why is this so important to them? And then once you do these things here, once you fill this out, you can put this statement together. So I basically took A through F, and here's an example of what it sounds like if somebody says, Anne, what do you do? How do you help people? What does that look like? I can say, I help establish online service-based women entrepreneurs who are burnt out, they're working too much, they're doing everything by themselves, that want to work less and create that passive income, those multiple income streams, and do more of what she loves. And they need to delegate, and I help them delegate, set up automated systems and processes so that they can have consistent 10 plus K months, working no more than 25, 30 hours a week, so they have that bigger impact, more freedom, and the choices and financial security. That is summing up exactly who I help, what I help them do, and how we do that so that they can have that ultimate outcome. Okay, it's a very simple but super, super strategic step or process. It's very, very, very valuable. Okay, it's a game changer, even though it's such a small little step. So remember, you cannot be everything to everyone. Okay, you gotta niche down. You gotta do this type of exercise right here, and just start right here. If you have a couple of niches or different people you want to help, start with the one you're most excited about and get really, really good at it. Don't assume that because one thing isn't selling, you can create something else. If you can't sell one-on-one coaching, you're not going to fill a group program. Okay? If you can't help one person, you're not going to help another person. You've got to get clear on how to sell, how to help people get transformation, how to sell, what does that look like, what is the process, and once you figure those things out, then you can add more things in. Also, when you tell someone you can help them do something, it doesn't mean you can't help them with anything else. It doesn't mean that's the only thing you're good at. It just means that you're getting really clear on here's who I'm going to help and here's what I'm going to help that person do. This is what I'm going to help that person accomplish. Okay? And you can add on along the way. You can add on down the road. Just get really good at less, and you'll see how much easier that is to sell, and also how much clearer it is for your ideal client to be able to identify as something that they need from you. Okay? So your ideal client has a problem and you have a solution. So you want to identify your client's biggest challenge. Now, I have a lot of challenges. So if someone came to me right now and said, Anne, I can help you with all 5 of your challenges, I probably wouldn't make the investment. Okay? Not because it has anything to do with money, but because I don't think I want to solve all those problems right now. It seems like too much work. It would take a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time. And it feels extremely overwhelming. So for someone who has all the money to make the investments, I still wouldn't make the investment. You have to identify the one thing your client is willing to pay to make it go away. Okay? I would not pay right now for all 5 of the challenges that I'm having because they don't all feel as urgent as one another. I feel like it's too much and that overwhelms me and I don't want to do it all right now. But if someone came to me and was going to help me solve the one biggest problem that I feel is urgent, that I feel is totally achievable to solve right now, that is definitely something holding me back, I would invest for that one thing. And money is not the problem for me, okay? So that's coming from someone who makes really big investments in her business. I would not invest in all of the things. So from a prospective client point of view, you need to identify the one challenge that your client is willing to pay to make it go away. It's not going to be all the things. That is too much for anybody to take on, okay? It's too overwhelming. So if you're trying to solve 700 problems, that's probably why you're not making money, okay? Break it down. What's the one biggest thing that they want to get rid of or solve or accomplish so bad they're willing to make the investment right now today to make it happen? If you don't know what that is, your job as a business owner, as a CEO of your company, is to go figure that out. That means you need to go do some market research if you don't know what that is. Now, once you figure out what that is, you can create a solution. You can craft an offer that has the exact steps that are going to take your client through the exact steps to solve that problem or to reach that goal or to accomplish that thing that they just paid you for because they said they wanted that so badly. Okay? These two things come together. All right? You got to have these in alignment with one another. Now, the way that your offer is so sellable, the way that your offer is going to show your ideal client that you actually have a path that's going to get them from where they are to that result they want, just that first next step, is a signature system. It is creating a step-by-step system that walks your client through what it takes to get from A to B. So I have a lot of entrepreneurs that say, I don't actually know how I'm going to get my clients to that end result. We're just going to work together and see what happens. Okay, people are not buying that. People are not making investments in hope or maybe. They want a proven system. And if you don't have one, they're just going to go buy it from somebody else. Okay? You have to actually be able to show your client that you are going to take them through a series of steps that are proven as long as they do them to get them the result that they just paid you for. If you can't do that, you're just not going to make a lot of sales because there's too many people out there that know better and there's too many people out there that know they have to have this and they've got it in place. Part of that is niching down. Get clear on the first next step you want to help your clients get to. If you want to help them get to more things, you can invite them into other offers later. One step at a time. Bring them into that program, walk them through the steps to get that first result, and then talk about continuing to work together. Okay? And if you're not sure what the steps are, then you really got to look at your offer. Are you creating an offer? Are you telling people you can help them do something that you know how to do, that you have done yourself or you helped another person do? If you are telling people, oh, I'm going to help you make $10,000 a month, and you've never done that, you're not going to know how to help them do that. So therefore, it's out of integrity to tell them, make this investment, I'm going to help you do that, when you know that you don't even do that in your own business and you don't know how to do it. So you've got to create offers that have solutions that you actually have accomplished in your life or have helped somebody else accomplish, so that you can map out the steps that it takes. So you can sit down and you can say, this is the steps. This is what it takes to get from A to B. These are the things I need to do with them inside this offer. If you don't know how to do that, you've got to get a coach or a mentor or someone to help you craft the right type of offer, okay? Because it's not going to sell otherwise. So the key elements inside your offer are those components that make your offer sellable, okay? There's things that you need to put inside an offer that make it really easy for your clients to say yes, for them to make the investment in themselves and in your program or your service or you, okay? You've got to create offers that make sense for people, that sell themselves, so that you don't have to try to convince people to invest in you or your program or your service, or you don't need to try to, you know, work so hard to try to get people to see that your offer can help them accomplish what it is they're trying to accomplish. There's things inside your offer that you can include that will do this for you. The problem is that most entrepreneurs are so multi-passionate that they're afraid to narrow and niche down and fear that they're going to turn a client away. Here's the thing. All of your offers are not going to be for everybody. Okay? You're going to work with different people at different levels and different types of offers. The other thing is that if you have a solution to a problem, the right client will buy it. If you have people coming to you that are like, nah, never mind, you know, then they're not the right clients to begin with, or they're not the right client for that particular offer. That's okay. Your offers are not meant for everybody, and you shouldn't try to mold every single person into one offer anyway. That's not smart business. It's not strategic. It's not a long-term strategy. That is not going to create sustainability. So even if you're multi-passionate, you've got to learn how to niche down, and you can create different offers for different folks, okay? Different strokes for different folks. So solution, get masterful at one thing at a time so you're not confusing or overwhelming your audience. Less is definitely more. Your ideal client does not want to be overwhelmed with you helping them solve 500 problems in the next 2 months. That is extremely overwhelming. Nobody wants to do that, okay? So think about, what is the one thing that you want the entire industry to come to you for, okay? If you could choose one thing just for the next 3 months, what would that one thing be that you want people to say, you want them to think of you when they think of that thing, okay? Even if it's just for the next 90 days. Here's the other thing. This is really key. This is a golden nugget here. Not everyone that needs you or that has a problem you solve is actually an ideal client. I have people that come to me every single day, and they've got problems I can solve. They're ready to make the investment, but they're not an ideal client. They're not the right person for a particular program, or maybe they're not the person I want to work with, or they don't meet my requirements, even though they can make the investment and they have a problem I solve. So here's what you need to look at. What are the requirements to work with you? If you don't have boundaries, you need to get some in place. If you don't have boundaries around who you're willing to work with, who you're willing to bring into your business and actually help get results, you really risk taking on a lot of the wrong people, okay? I've got very strict boundaries. I don't like to work with excuse makers. I don't like to work with drama, people that are obsessed with drama. I don't typically work with people that are not willing to take risks. I have zero interest in putting any energy into lurkers or brain pickers or people that just, you know, spend their days indulging in free information, but they don't do a damn thing with their business. I don't have any interest in working with people that can't make payments on time and in full like they committed to. I don't have interest in working with people that are out of integrity or disrespectful in any way, shape, or form. And I don't have interest in working with people that are not going to take the actions and are going to blame everybody else for their lack of results when they're not doing the work. I have a whole list printed out that sits beside me every day. and I've used it for years. And it is my requirements. I'm not going to work with anyone that doesn't meet them or that does not want to meet them. You need boundaries. If you're so desperate that you're just going to work with any person that comes your way, you're going to get dragged through your business. You're going to work really, really hard. You're probably going to get people that are not going to get results. They're not going to do the work. And it's not that this doesn't happen, even though I've got extremely strict boundaries in place and a screening process, I still get people like this sometimes. It is part of the industry, but you want to limit this big time. So set some requirements. Have some boundaries and demands, have some standards around the characteristics of the people that you are willing to work with. Also, if you vision the best client to work with every day, who would that person be? What might that person look like? What are some characteristics of this person? What are some qualities, some beliefs of this person? Who are these people in their life and in their business? Another thing you can do is identify who you don't want to work with. This is really easy for most people. It's really, really easy to know like what we don't want. So start to think about, okay, I know that I don't want to work with these types of people. That will help you identify who you do want to work with. Also, what type of person might need what you're offering? So who do you think the person is that is experiencing the thing that you solve or the thing you help them accomplish? Okay? Or the problem, the solution to the problem that you have. What type of person might need that? And then if you're not sure of this stuff, who do you think it is? You've got to start somewhere. So if you're not really sure who this is or what this looks like, who do you think it might be? And just start from there. Okay, now if you want to fast track your income, if you want to eliminate the guesswork, if you're tired of doing the same things over and over again and just getting those mediocre, lack results, you're really just ready to take things to the next level in your business, I want to invite you in how I can help you. So obviously this looks a little different for everybody depending on your situation. It depends on what you have going on, what it is you're trying to accomplish, what you have to work with, and that's really going to dictate how I can help you because I don't have a one-size-fits-all. That's not how I create my offers. That's not how I work with clients. And that isn't, I don't have my clients do that either. I have very tailored services. So each person that comes in to work with me, it typically looks different in the way that I help them. And that is because what we need to do together for you to reach your goals really depends on a lot of different variables. So I'm just going to give you a little recap of some of the basic things we can do together that are going to help you create 5-figure months in your coaching business. However, again, it's going to be very tailored depending on where you're at and what you're really trying to accomplish. But I can help you identify what your real goals are that you have and when you want to reach those goals by. Real goals, not just mediocre, like little stuff, but your real goals. We together will create a solid and inspired plan of action for how you're going to reach those goals as quickly and as easily as possible. So really looking at what needs to happen to reach those goals and how can we do that quick and easy. We're also going to create 1 to 3 very valuable and sellable offers that not only feel good to you, but they sell themselves. Your ideal clients can identify them as the next step for them. Okay, we're going to create 1 to 3 of those for you. We're also going to work together to craft content that is sellable, it's drool-worthy, it really speaks to your ideal, dreamiest client. So, really looking at the content you're putting out there, the way that you're marketing yourself, really looking at that to make sure that it's effective and efficient and that it's actually producing results that you want it to produce. Plus, you're going to get me on demand. So you're going to get unlimited private Voxer access so that you've got support when you need it and on what you need. So unlike most programs or coaches out there, you get like little 45-minute sessions twice a month or whatever. And then in between, you're sort of struggling to figure it out. You're waiting around for your next session. I don't work like that. I give you unlimited private access to me so that you can access me and get support when you need it and on what you need, so that it's not like a group call where you got to wait for everyone else to talk about their stuff to get yours, or where you're getting access to, you know, self-study courses that aren't even relevant to you. You get on-demand private access to me that's unlimited. You'll also have a close community of like-minded entrepreneurs that will support you and keep you focused along the way so that you don't feel alone, so you have someone to bounce ideas off, so you can, you know, check in with the community and have them give you feedback and kind of help you brainstorm. You'll have that. You'll also get access to all of my trainings inside my private portal, so that if you have anything that comes up that you need or that you're missing in your business in order for you to hit your goals, I can direct you to it. You can watch the training in your own time, and you only have to watch the trainings that are really specific to your business and to the goals that you are trying to reach, okay? So you'll get all of that. This is also going to make it so you don't have to go out and make a ton of other investments. Pretty much whatever you need is inside my portal, or I can do it with you, or my team can do it with you, so that you don't really need to worry about making a ton of other investments in order for you to make 5-figure months in your coaching business. And then anything else you need, because I work in a very tailored, customized way. If you need something, if you and I are planning and figuring stuff out and we identify something that's missing, or if you come to me and you'd like me to teach or talk about a certain thing, or if you need templates or additional training, anything else that you need to reach your goals, I will provide when you're working with me, when you become a client of mine, okay? So if this is speaking to you, if you feel like this is what you need, if this sounds like it could possibly be your next best step to get those 5-figure months, to get your coaching business finally producing real solid, consistent, scalable results, income, and impact, and clients, then go ahead and book a complimentary, no pressure or obligation discovery call with me. All you have to do is go to selllikearebel.com/sales strategy session. You're going to book a call, fill out an application, and basically on this call, we're going to identify your goals, your gaps in your business, and then we're just going to talk to see if I can help you. If I can support you in bridging those gaps, helping you create multiple 5-figure months in your coaching business, then I'm going to tell you on that call how I can do that. Again, it's very tailored, so it just depends. If I can't, I will direct you with your next steps or some suggestions or recommendations for what you can go off and do to get yourself where you need to be in order for me to be able to support you. So this isn't, you have no obligation to like purchase or sign up or anything like that on this call. There's no pressure because I only work with the best people. I only work with certain people. So I'm not looking to sign everyone that books a call. I'm looking for the right people. And I want this to be the perfect fit. So if this is speaking to you, if you want to explore and see if this, you know, if you and I working together might be that thing that you've been missing, might be that thing that you've been looking for to get you to the next step, to get you creating multiple 5 figures each and every single month in your business, in your coaching business, without working 30, 40, 50 hours a week, then I want you to go ahead, go to selllikearebel.com/sales strategy session, book your call with me, fill out the application. Let's get on a call and talk about your business, your goals. Let's see what gaps we might be able to help you bridge to help you hit those multiple 5-figure months. By all means, let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, or feel free to private message me here on Facebook. I'm happy to support you. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you guys here in the Rebel community.